We know that 70 to 75%, the majority of accidents occur within 5 to 10 miles of someone's destination. We're in the Flaming Gorge. It's a canyon, so what you see up top is exactly what's underneath.
What were you talking about, ice?
This is where we're gonna find something, right here. Axel described his father taking this really long trip up to the family cabin at the Flaming Gorge.
The last conversation, he came to pick me up to go to the cabin on this trip. And I had forgotten I had a birthday party to go to, and I told him no at the door. And that was it.
We know that we have a pond that is a prime accident location on his route. So he would have taken this route.
Yeah. More than likely. It's an easier drive.
And the possibility of him being fatigued and getting into an accident because of him being tired. And it's possible you can get here if you're sleepy.
Right, I mean, that to me is just drowsy driving.
We also know that this pond was missing barriers the year that Stephen went missing. We know there's barricades here, right? Sometime between 2009 and 2006, it was put up. Is this an accident location? Is this possible that Stephen could have ended up in this pond? So we're at the pond in question in regards to an accident scenario. It's completely frozen over. We don't know what the depth is. Locals have said it's shallow. Other locals have said also that it can get up to 30 feet. So I'm gonna go out as far as the vehicle would have made it out, break through the ice, put the sonar in to gauge the depth. So we know exactly if this is a location. If it's really, really shallow, like they say, then we'll easily be able to rule this off right now. If it's deep, we're gonna have to do a lot of breaking through the ice, and we'll have to put the live scope in and look around. We now know that this pond is deep enough to conceal a vehicle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go catch up with the rest of the crew. We're gonna conduct some operations, and then we're gonna come back here with the live scope, and we're gonna live scope along where a vehicle could have made it into. I went up there, crawled out on the ice, poked through. It's deep enough for a vehicle too.
How deep is it?
6 feet right off the edge, and then I went out another 100 feet or so, 12 feet.
So it's right off the road?
Right off the road.
And the barricades are there now?
They're not really barricades, they're like log fences, like countryside.
Yeah, they wouldn't prevent a car from going through them, but they weren't there.
They weren't there at the time. Yeah, it was just a straight shot. So we'll do as much as we can here, and then...
Yeah, because my concern here is, yes, this is by the road, but it's not in a precarious spot where you could easily tumble off. You know, there's not a cliff per se right here, with the water being. Right now, the water is higher than it was in 2004. 2004, the level was 6,009 feet. And they said right now we're at like 6,020 or something like that.
Okay.
So we got another 10 or 11 feet of water on top of whatever this looked like back then.
Right.
Which leads me to believe that, I mean, here's the end of the lake right here. So we'll know really quick, scanning the shoreline. Yeah. You know, you never know. Maybe he came down the boat ramp and drove straight in. So I think if we just do this whole finger, this will give us a good idea.
In a self-harm scenario, I could see this being likely because there's not a lot of people down here all the time.
It's self-harm for sure. It's just it's not what you would expect, like a gorge. Sheer walls where something could tumble in. Like if somebody went in here, they would have had to been trying. Yeah. And even then, if they went in that side, you can see how shallow this is. You got reeds sticking up right there. So he would have had to really make his way through there to be able to get in here. Yeah. Because any of this stuff, I don't think is steep enough to push the car deep enough into the water. So that's why I'm skeptical about this spot, but we're not rolling it out.
You know how Cedar Springs ramp, the 2 ramps that are up there, they said that they would actually drive around through Dutch John and go to that other ramp across a lot. And also the bridge next to the dam, how it goes over the water, there's a little spot under there where they used to swim.
So that's the area that's more likely to me. Yeah. Because getting in over here would be really tricky. Getting over there by the dam, there's a lot more sheer cliffs and walls and stuff like that. So it might, what do you think? We scan this, and then do you want to head over by the dam? Yeah. Anywhere, let's go find anywhere where the road lines up with the contour of the lake. Yeah. And just kind of like what we do.
I would say do one more hook through here, and we know nothing's here. This area is clear, so I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do is, in order to save time, because the next spot is pretty far up, I think it's safest for us to load back up. We're about 9 miles from our next location, which is approximately 4 miles from his cabin, where they would frequent as a family here and there. However, if he would have come here prior to going to the cabin, there's a lot of people here. It's populated, just like these lovely people are here. But if you want to theorize that Stephen did make it to the cabin, but he came back out later, this location we're at right now under the bridge could be ideal. So far, nothing yet. Hug this over here a little bit tighter. Down imaging is perfect. The live scope imaging is perfect. Come on. And this is also an area that's could be accident, but also come here to be out of the eyes of the marina. Yep. Cold case unit here in Utah gave me these deck of cards. And these aren't just any cards, they're very special cards. In fact, each and every single one of these cards holds a special case. Whether it's an unsolved homicide, or it's a missing persons case connected to a cold case or an active case. The 7 of clubs features Stephen Willard Anderson. It can kind of give you an idea of what each card here holds. I know he's out here. I really hope we find him. Near the dam here, there's a recreational area up here where you can picnic, pull the car down, and there isn't much that's gonna stop a vehicle from coming in. We've been able to cover a lot of the search area here in the Flaming Gorge, particularly the regions where the families frequented, the boat ramps, the areas near the bridge, as well as roadways that come up along the edge of the gorge itself. But it keeps drawing me back into the pond. So we're back where we started this morning at the pond. The plan right now is to go back out, the same way I went out. I'm gonna equip the sonar in a style and sort of in a fashion so that I can just pull it out to me once I'm out there. That's what we're thinking right now, that this is a high likelihood of being an accident location. It's right off the side of the road, and it's in one of those spots where it's kind of, no one would ever think to look. It's where I fell through earlier too. See those two marks right there? Yep.
Take this one real bout.
We could just put my boat on this. I could slide myself out.
Yeah. A lot of things, man.
It's 6 feet right there, about where we're even at right now. Even out there, I'm falling through now. Like that last step took right over my boot. I just don't like to be defeated. Yeah, I think without anybody else on it and without the motor on it, I'm gonna try to get out as far as I can. Whoa! Oh, right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful image. All right, pull. Yep. Oh! Holy moly, there's some big fish in here. 8 feet. Oh! All right, let's go. You can pull it. Right here. Oh yeah, 8 feet. All right, you can pull. It's a process of elimination. So now we know. I mean, it fit a lot of things, fit the narrative of this being a really good location. So it was extremely high on our target list. It's a process of elimination, on to the next. We know we have a couple more small lakes, ponds, just like this, on the foothill near where the cabin area is. So we got to check those and go back to the drawing board before we leave and see what we got to do. I feel better though.
We don't have nice stuff like that.
All right, here you go.
Yeah, take that. We'll go grab the other stuff.
The side of this road, like check this car out right here. Look really closely. If a car comes off the side, if the car goes through the guardrail, off the side of there, comes down, it's gonna have so much momentum through the guardrail, and then with such a steep drop, it's gonna tumble and it will make it into the water. And it looks like it's a sheer drop off right here in the water. So this is another accident location. And the more I think about it, the more I ponder and try not to go into all of the rabbit hole theories that you tend to get into when you try to fill in the blanks on a cold case. What are we working with? We're working with the fact that he told his father he was going to the cabin. He tried to pick up his son to go to the cabin with him. It doesn't really draw the conclusions that he was actually trying to go and harm himself. Really, it means that he actually was coming to the cabin because he tried to take his son. Doesn't really lead me to believe that he was intending on going to the cabin to do something to himself. He simply got into an accident. Where? We don't know. That's what we're trying to find out now. This location, perfect location for a vehicle to enter the water. So we're gonna go around to the boat ramp, set our stuff up. We got some sonar set up. We got to transition it back to our boat from off of Dave's boat. And we're gonna get in the water. We're gonna check the boat ramp over there where we're launching from, and then we're gonna jet right over here and check this roadway, load it up, or maybe we might find something. We'll see, but that's what we're doing right now. So far, with multiple scans next to this roadway where we theorize an accident could have happened, we know that there's no vehicle in here right now. But with a clean bottom like this, it makes it really, really easy to scan. So had a vehicle gone off of there and made it into here, we would absolutely know it 1000% because nothing is coming up and we're getting really, really smooth readings all along this roadway in this reservoir, and it's only 30 feet deep. Kevin, Steven's brother, is here, and he wanted to come out. Mind you, we're 4 hours away from Salt Lake City, and he drove out here to tell us how much he appreciates someone doing something for him. And that's very deep. It's very deep for him to come out here and just to express his sincerity of some type of support that they've never had at all. And just glad that I can help him. It's good to hear that, making an impact. It's a really slight grade in. So everything right here within eyesight, you're not gonna be able to get a vehicle in, especially one that's 6 foot tall. For 20 years, there's amazing water clarity here. I say it all the time, it's like beating an old drum. It's a process of elimination. Just because he's not here doesn't mean he's not somewhere else. We got authorization from DNR to get into a lake. It's sort of on the route. It's definitely not an accident location, but it's on the route. It's been closed to the public for some time, but they gave us the code to get back there through the gate. That's where we're gonna go now. So it's probably about a 30-minute drive there, and it's one of the closest ones after Steinecker. 17, 19, 22 feet. This sandstone is just so smooth that it's making it super easy to scan. It's giving me vibes of being in Mexico. A lot of the lay of the land is sandstone-ish type of stuff right there. I really had hope for this location, being as though when we come around the bend there, you can see the park area. People are parked right there, and it's probably 30, 40 feet from the parking lot into the corner of the reservoir there. So, but it's too shallow.
There's a healing process of just having people that care and doing something. And I think the last 2 days, there's been an immense amount of healing for the family. I think the session Friday was amazing. And you guys being up here the last 2 days. And so thank you. You know, there's been a huge amount of healing. I know for me personally, and I know for Steve's kids as well.
But the biggest issue is it's froze over right now, and there's no boat ramp to launch here. So Doug is literally going to put on a life jacket, on his hands and knees, some of the parts, and go out on the ice, and then just run the sonar down. And
Tie the yankum rope to me.
Yeah.
And I'll crawl out there, pull the sonar out to me, stick it through, scan, crawl somewhere else, pull the sonar to me, and yeah, we'll knock it out.
You have 2 life jackets? You want me out there with you?
You guys probably would like to see that, huh? Me taking hands out on the thin ice. Because to hear anybody else say it, he's always on thin ice.
They really would.